my YouTube channel. Today we'll be learning how to do a straight cut PC skirt. We are still on the straight cut series, okay? So we'll be learning how to make a straight cut PC skirt. So you can see the nature of my fabric, hence the choice of what we want to use it to do. Okay, so what do we do now? It's PC skirt. We're going to divide. You're still going to divide by 4. The only difference in this one is that it's going to have a slit at the, okay, maybe you might decide to do your own PC skirt. We're doing 4 pieces now. You can decide to do your own PC skirt. It will not have a slit at the center, but for this one, I want the slit to be at the center, the front center, okay? The back will be closed. And that's the only difference from the other one we did before. But the other one, it was closed. We do not have any opening. So if you have a fabric like this, you don't need to throw them away. You can use them to form something beautiful that you will like. Okay, so I'm going to cut out the front first. But if you have fabric that is together, you want to just go ahead and cut everything once, why not? You can cut them once, okay? Take the vertical measurement. This is the waistline, okay? I'm going to take, this is the hip line, and this is our knee, okay? 8, 18, and this is the skirt length 23, okay? And this is our seam allowance. We are going to fold it now. You're going to have a bold fold after weaving it, and the seam allowance is 1, 2, 3. If your fabric is not enough, please, you can always use whatever that you can make do it, okay? So we're working with hip 42, waist 35, okay? So this is the thing we're working with. And skirt length 23. So I've already measured my skirt length. So let's see how we work with these numbers here now, how we interpret them on this fabric. So now the next thing to do is to measure the waistline. Please, if you are measuring the waistline, what do you do? Remember, I said if you are having problem with mathematics, is not an issue. You can always divide your tape. Okay, you can divide your tape. This is at 35. This is 35. You divide by 4. Okay, and you divide by 4. Remember that this is a PC skirt. It's going to have a joining here, and it's going to have a slit somewhere at the down part. So I'm just going to remove half an inch because this fabric is very small. I'm going to remove half an inch. I'm going to use to do that joining. But please, if you have weaving machine handy, before you join, you weave it out so that you don't have problem of not being able to have a proper finishing. So now, see what happens here. This is what I divided. I folded by 2 because of the nature of the fabric, I'm doing the front first. I'll still do the back. So this is the front I'm working with now at the moment. So I'll just take this line down so that you know that everything here is the seam allowance. I'm taking it down. So see it, this is the actual measurement. I'm just going to add 1 inch seam allowance. Okay, I'll come to the waistline. Here is 42. If you divide this in the way I did my tape now for the waistline, you can do it for the hip line too. If I do it, I'm going to have 10.5. You can see I don't have too much seam allowance, but we can still work with it and we can still wear the clothes. Okay, so this is 9.5. This is going to be our seam allowance. The seam allowance of this one is not even up to 1, so it's somehow close to half an inch or a little bit bigger than half an inch. So to get here, the knee line, depending on how you want your skirt to be. If you want it to be snatchy very well, if you want a very well covered skirt for a material that is not stretchy, you can remove 4 inch from the hip line. If you don't want it too curvy, but you want a shapy skirt but not too curvy, you can remove just 2 inches. If it's a stretchy material, you can go ahead and remove as many as 6 inches, depending on how you want it to look on your body. Okay, for this one now, I'm just going to remove 2 inch from the waistline. So if I remove from the hip line, so if I remove 2 inch from this hip line, I'm going to have 40 here. This was 42. I'm going to have 40 here. If I divide my tape the normal way, I'm going to have 40 divided by 4. I'm going to have 10. Okay, this is it. This is the same allowance. So if you don't have money to buy, what's it called, a curvy ruler, I'm using tape to do all this so that we can start with whatever you have that is handy. You see the way I'm using my tape to connect the line. Okay, and please don't make it look too straight. Remember, your body is not that straight, it's curvy. Okay, so this is it. You see it, that's the actual measurement of this person's body. And I'm just going to add this one. This is the same allowance I'm adding now. Okay, so I'm going to open it here. Please always weave before sewing. See it, I'm notching out where the same allowance, the front seam allowance is. So I'm going to fold again. So this is the second folding. This will be for the back. Okay, so we're having something like this at the back. Remember, because of the zip allowance, the back will always be bigger than the front. Okay, or if the fabric is enough, you can cut them equal, but making the front bigger, of a bigger size. So see, now that I'm done with this, I'll just carry this thing and put here. It's the same thing. It's just that because we're going to have zip here, this one will be slightly bigger than the other one. So see it. So I'm just going to extend this thing here, and complete it maybe 1.5. Okay, this was half, so I'm going to add this 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. I'll cut it out. Okay, if you have your ruler, please use your ruler. If you don't have, you can use your tape and get the exact measurement. But don't tell me it's because you are waiting to get all these things ready, that's why you're not starting. Please, let's start together. We can make something out of what we have on ground already. Okay, so this is 1.5. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do here, please pay attention to my next move I'm going to make here. The next one is to trim down this place. Okay, for a normal size person, I always use 1 inch. If the person has a bigger tummy, you can use 2, so that the skirt will go down very well. You don't have folds. So if they haven't made any skirt for you and it's having a fold, just know that this was not taken out. So you take it out. Once you've taken out this thing, you don't need to dart the skirt again. Okay, so I'm just cutting it now. I'll just cut it. We're going to take out everything here. I'm going to take it out. You know why we're doing that? Because we want it to be very shapy at the back. We want the bum to show very well. Okay, so by the time I will sew inside, I will have exactly the pencil skirt I want to make. But if you leave this in, I cut out now, I didn't trim it out. By the time you finish sewing, the skirt will just be straight at the back. But when you trim out, if you want the skirt to be very shapy more, you can just open it to go more, especially if you are working with a stretchy material. You can still dip it inside. Okay, we'll be joining the pieces skirt now. See, I advise that you weave it. I've already done the weaving. So if you have weaving machine around, it's better I'll advise that you weave it to save yourself a lot of stress, okay? I will not share to know that this is the upper part of this skirt. So this is the front now. This is the hip side. Remember that we are sewing bandless. So I'm just going to join here now. So I'm leaving my own at this one I'm sewing now at 5 inches, because I wouldn't want it to open too much. I'm going to do and iron it out. So see where we are now. After cutting, after joining this, the next thing to do is to cut out the band. You know we are doing bandless, okay? You cut out the band. You see how I place it, because it's going to be bandless. You see how I placed it. Remember to notch it to show that this is where it all started from. Okay? Because it's bandless, so that means the band will be inside. You see the skirt is really going to come out nice. So it's either, I'm going to notch here to show that that is the center. It's either I weave it or I sew it this way. Okay? So I'll just carry this thing and put it here and make this way. So after sewing, you notch it this way, so that when you top stitch it's going to relax. See why I'm not adding anything on this fabric is because it's thick, kind of thick. Now if you want the band to be firm, and the bandless to be firm, if the fabric you're working with is light, you can put pepper gum or stay on this part. So by the time you finish sewing, it's going to lap very well. It's going to stay well. You see the band? This skirt is really coming out well. So remember that it's always advisable to notch the up. See it? Bandless. Remember you dart before you put the band. The waist measurement is 35, which is 16.5. Okay? And aside from this waist measurement, the rest of them is half inch. It's already marked, so that's why I'm just marking this one. So I'm just going to join and run through. Okay, our skirt is good to go. I'm just going to iron it out and do hemming and put zip and watch, see the outcome. Okay.